Welcome to Wrestling Topics, Episode 4. This title is subject to change to something more clever in the future. I just got to come up with something better, with a better title. A much better title. It's subject to change, everybody. The titles are subject to change, so be on the lookout for that. Now, let's get on to this. So this is Double A with RON Entertainment. As you know, before I get on to the show, I'm going to plug my other shows first at the beginning, and I'll plug at the end of the show. So Wrestling Topics is every Monday, usually at 3 p.m. But I started this about 5 minutes early because I had nothing else to do, nothing better to do. On Thursdays, I do a show about pop culture. It's called All About the Pop, on pop culture type subjects. You know what I mean? Like Marvel, DC, Star Trek, Star Wars, anime, Dragon Ball Z, Pokemon, whatever pop culture like stuff. And Saturdays, I go a weekly review of sports, the major news that happened in the sports, signings, trades. What's I gonna say? Issues. The reason I like to do a weekly show of it is because I like to build up the news cycle. Because usually in sports news every day, but I like to give myself a week of research to set up for my Saturday show. This is all at 3 p.m. Eastern time on Saturday, and on Saturdays also. So I like to do my NFL predictions for the week. So be on the lookout for this Saturday for NFL predictions for week 13 for the NFL. And with that, let's get on with the show for Wrestling Topics, Episode 4. So I'm going to start the show out with a weekly review of past shows, starting from the Raw last week, the Raw fallout from Survivor Series. Then to Wednesday, we're going to talk about both NXT and AEW. Friday, then I'm going to talk about SmackDown. And after that, I'm talking about my AEW Winter is Coming predictions, which is happening this Wednesday. AEW Winter is Coming December 2nd, this Wednesday. And then after all that, I'll be talking about wrestling news and stuff I like to talk about wrestling. So I'm going to talk about Braun Strowman, why he got suspended. I'm going to talk about the Liv Morgan documentary. I'm going to talk more depth detail about Toni Storm's heel turn. I have a video on that. I'm going to talk about Lana, why the whole Lana thing. I actually have a video on that too. I posted it Saturday. The Toni Storm thing was Friday, I believe. So go check it out. I may post the videos there at the end of the show. When I edit this. So, without further ado, let's get on with the weekly review. Let's start with Monday Night Raw. Now, we started the show with the 5 men who swept Team SmackDown in Survivor Series, with Adam Pearce in the middle. We have Braun Strowman, Matt Riddle, Keith Lee, Sheamus, and AJ Styles. So each of them get a match with each other, but except for Braun Strowman, Pearce hands on Adam Pearce, shoved him, headbutt him, whatever. And now he's suspended. There's a reason for that. But Bobby Lashley and Randy Orton both persuaded Adam Pearce to get involved in this to become the #1 contender match. Which for this week, to be whoever wins their matches, the single matches, to be involved in a triple threat match to become the #1 contender for Drew McIntyre's championship at TLC. So we got the winners are obviously AJ Styles, Matt Riddle, and Keith Lee. Now we know how they won. Like, Matt Riddle and Sheamus had a great match. Keith Lee and Bobby Lashley had a good match. The ending, like, MVP cost Bobby Lashley to win by himself by getting Bobby Lashley disqualified. And then I'll talk about the Randy Orton AJ Styles match, the WrestleMania caliber match. Yeah, I don't know why it's a caliber match. I mean, he did have a WrestleMania match. I forget, it wasn't too long ago, but I believe that was the opener of the WrestleMania, wasn't it? When they wrestled each other, it was their opener, where Styles won. I think it was 2018. I believe it was 2018. So let's go on with Raw, right? So what happened on Raw? Lana was so high and was the adrenaline was so getting to her. She was so excited that she was the last woman standing. Her confidence is sky high. So she accidentally thought she could get involved with Asuka, right? So Lana and Asuka had a match singles. Obviously, that match got thrown out when Shayna Baszler and Nia Jax got involved, making a tag team match between the tag team champions, facing off against Lana and Asuka. Asuka and Lana won. Nia Jax did not bring Lana through the table this time. The streak is over. The weekly streak of the table, Lana bringing through the table, is over. It looks like the luck is turning on Lana's side now. And I'm happy. So we got New Day versus the Hurt Business, Shelton Benjamin. I was going to say Shelton Alexander. Shelton Benjamin and Cedric Alexander. Now this match was awkward, right? The way that how New Day, where did they heel? Like the way they won? I don't know. Was it count out or something? I forgot. And then the match, they didn't like how that ended. Hurt Business, the way it ended. And the New Day accepted. And New Day won, retained. Solid match. On Raw. I'm sorry, look at my phone. What else happened on Raw? We got Alexa Bliss versus Nikki Cross. Nikki Cross was done with Alexa Bliss. She didn't care about her anymore. You could tell her about an interview backstage and during the match. But you saw Alexa Bliss starting to cry, having breakdown, she's hurt. She's mentally hurt. The Fiend's got in her, and you can see she's crying and all that. But it was all an act. Because Nikki Cross, despite her not caring anymore, you could tell she did care, and she was trying to feel sorry for Alexa Bliss, but that was all an act. And Alexa Bliss, she was going to go for a hug. They were going for a hug, and Alexa Bliss pulled her into a variation of Sister Abigail and getting the 1, 2, 3. I think this will continue on, and I think Nikki Cross, they're going to have a match next time. Nikki Cross is going to be like, no, I'm not falling this for again. And so Drew McIntyre wasn't at the show last week. Had a great match with Roman Reigns at Survivor Series. What else happened that was major on Raw? Okay, the main event, AJ Styles versus Randy Orton. As you know, AJ Styles won. It's going to be in the triple threat match for tonight, facing Matt Riddle, Keith Lee, to determine the number one contender for Drew McIntyre's WWE Championship at TLC. I think it's going to happen at TLC, which is December 20th, by the way. So this match was really good, main event. What happened was the Fiend got involved, distracted Randy Orton. And if you notice, there was a camera shot where you could see the Fiend moving to the side where the distraction finish happened. Randy Orton got distracted, and AJ Styles performed a phenomenal forearm and hit Styles with hit Randy Orton and get the 1, 2, 3. So it looks, and so it's the Fiend and Randy Orton. So this is clearly when Randy Orton lost the title to the Fiend, to the Drew McIntyre in the Raw before Survivor Series. Clearly you could tell they were moving into the Fiend in the Randy Orton direction of a story. So I bet it just goes back to when I guess I have to stop saying that. Back to 2016, 2017. Remember when Randy Orton joined the Wyatt family, but only to get into Bray Wyatt's head when Randy Orton won the Royal Rumble 2017. And later on, the Fiend became, not the Fiend, but Bray Wyatt became the champion at Elimination Chamber. And that's when Randy Orton's turn happened against Bray Wyatt, burned down the house, and they had a horrible WrestleMania match with all the effects, the bugs and stuff on the ring. And so it's like the Fiend wants to get revenge on Randy Orton. And that's the Fiend's MO. Remember, he went after all the people that did him wrong, like Braun Strowman. Seth Rollins really did him wrong, but he goes after people that have done him wrong in the past. My guess is what people did to him have turned Bray Wyatt into the Fiend, having him develop multiple personality disorder or something like that. And I could see them having some sort of not a singles match at TLC, but I don't think a table that in a chairs match, because that's obviously going to be a title match. But I see them having some sort of no disqualification kind of match, no holds bar, no DQ, whatever. There's going to be no countouts and no rope breaks. There's going to be no disqualification in some way. I can see that happening at TLC between the two. And now I'm going to go back to the Lana thing. I can see this. Lana, Asuka challenging Shayna Baszler and Nia Jax, who tag team titles at TLC. I'm just going to put it out there. I'll go in more detail about that later, about that. So let's go to Wednesday night. We have two shows, NXT and AEW. Let's go with NXT. So the opening match was Ember Moon versus Dakota. Was it first? Ember Moon versus Candice LeRae. Solid match. Candice LeRae got the win. Indy Hartwell took the Eclipse. McCall Gonzalez and Dakota were there by ringside. Candice LeRae got the win. They went to go beat up Ember. Ember Moon escapes, and here Toni Storm's music hits, and Toni Storm comes to looks like to help out Ember Moon. Ember Moon tries to get in the ring, but Toni Storm quickly grabs her from behind and turns on her. And it looks like Toni Storm has turned heel and joins Candice LeRae's Wargames team for Wargames this December 6th, which I'll be doing a prediction video for NXT Wargames later on in the week. So it looks like we have this full team for Candice LeRae's team. Candice LeRae's team consists of Candice LeRae, obviously team captain, Toni Storm, Dakota Kai, and Raquel Gonzalez. Now, Sasha Blackheart's team has been confirmed that Ember Moon has joined the team, but it's pretty obvious Rhea Ripley and Io Shirai will be a part of the team. Let's go fast forward to the reasoning is because Rhea Ripley was cutting a promo talking about her future. The speculation is going up to SmackDown, which she's staying in NXT, but Candice LeRae comes out. And her team comes out and you see Raquel Gonzalez with beating down Io Shirai on top of her shoulder. So, and they attack Rhea Ripley. Rhea Ripley did well for a bit, but the numbers were too overwhelming and they got her. And so, since Ember Moon's confirmed to be on Sasha Blackheart's team, in a little, it looks like Io Shirai and Rhea Ripley will join that team. Look for NXT for confirmation on that, for them to officially join Sasha Blackheart's team. There's just no Ember Moon's on the team, so it's going to be Ember Moon, Sasha Blackheart, Rhea Ripley, and Io Shirai, was most likely, not 100% confirmed, but most likely be 100% confirmed. Only half of it is confirmed, versus Candice LeRae, Toni Storm, Dakota Kai, and Raquel Gonzalez, and that has been confirmed for NXT Wargames. Now, we know that Undisputed Era is going to face the team of Pat McAfee, Pete Dunne, Oney Lorcan, and Danny Burch. The main event saw Pete Dunne win it for his team to be the last, at the advantage because of somebody running in with the mask. And I saw some people like Ghostface again. No, it's not Ghostface. Supposedly Pat McAfee wasn't there, but it was clearly him in the mask. But it was not a Ghostface mask. Some people thought it was Ghostface, Ghostface? It's not, because we saw when Candice LeRae left with Johnny Gargano, we saw Indy Hartwell was there, and we saw the other side Ghostface. So there's two Ghostfaces. Indy Hartwell's one, and the other one with Johnny Gargano. That person who interfered in the main event was not Ghostface. So what other things happened? Oh, we saw Kushida beat Timothy Thatcher, and Timothy Thatcher's getting involving with Tommaso Ciampa. And here's a segment: Kevin Owens' commentary, but he had his KO show. His guest was Leon Ruff. And I love how Kevin Owens tells about all the tropes in WWE. When he mentions somebody's name, that music hits. And what happens? That music they hit. Johnny Gargano comes out. Johnny Gargano mentions Damian Priest. It looks like it wasn't going to happen. And then all of a sudden, Damian Priest comes out. Kevin Owens mentions all the tropes in WWE. He studies and researches, right? And Leon Ruff was so mighty and high, so excited, skinny as hell. And William Regal announced that Morgan is going to be a triple threat match of Leon Ruff defending the North American title against Johnny Gargano and Damian Priest this upcoming Sunday. And Cameron Grimes is not down with Dexter Lumis. Cameron Grimes is going to face Dexter Lumis at NXT Wargames, which will be the final match between the three. Dexter Lumis is one of the two of them. They face the House of Horrors match, whatever you want to call it. I forgot his exact name. The blindfold match. And now there's going to be the third match. Dexter Lumis has won a series of matches, but he's not done with Cameron Grimes. He gives you the serial killer stalker vibe, right? And his target is Cameron Grimes. Which I'm excited for. Hopefully NXT Wargames will be a good show. Now let's get to AEW. Okay. The show started with Adam Page and John Silver. Solid opening match. You know AEW Dynamite, so they open up the shows with a match, which is a change of pace from WWE. They open up a segment. You hardly see a match open up on WWE programming. But in AEW, they usually start off with a match. Adam Page and John Silver. Adam Page throwing the buckshot lariat. You see the Dark Order come. You think Adam Page is just going to attack him, but no, they want to try to talk him, reason with him, maybe convince him to join them. Remember earlier in the year they had that one of them had a video going over who should join the Dark Order, and Adam Page was one of them, one of the potential recruits. Remember that? That could be in January, February. One of those months is really early in the year. Well, you had the team of Jack Evans and Angelico face Bowens, Top Flight. They won, and looks like they're going to be the mix of a small feud with the Young Bucks. They're not going to face each other this week, but those two teams potentially have a great match whenever that happens. Now we have a promo. Cody Rhodes and Taz, and this is getting personal. So this week we're in AEW. It's gonna be Cody Rhodes and Darby Allin facing Hobbs and Starks. Team Taz versus Darby Allin and Cody Rhodes. But it's got personal with Taz's father, and Cody Rhodes is like, "Why is your son training with me?" And this really got to Taz. Taz looks like he's about to leave the lane. Cody Rhodes is looking the other way. Taz gets him his Taz submission. When was the last time he used that? Because obviously he's pissed off. That's his son, right? I don't blame him. We got a great match between Anna Jay. And I'm going to talk about the Kenny Omega, John Moxley stuff later. We got a great match between Anna Jay and Shida. Solid match. They had a match before where Anna Jay was considered a rookie. She's still considered a rookie because she hasn't been 1 year, but she's improved. Anna Jay lost. Saw a match with Shida. Anna Jay still has potential. And then when Shida was going up the ramp, all of a sudden smoke appeared, and that demon, like that monster, Abominadon comes out. Oh my gosh, that wrestler, whatever you want to call her, freaks the hell out of me. And I know she's supposed to freak the hell out of other people. But really, remember she took the title and Nikita was like scared like that. Ugh. And Abaddon Dawn took the title and goes and licks the title with her tongue. And you know, she's the next challenger. She's just gonna be one of those short transitional kind of matches to something bigger for Shida to face in the future. Hopefully it's Britt Baker, because I think Britt Baker is ready to become champion. Britt Baker has a match this Wednesday. Now let's get to the main event. Then I got to get to the main topics, the main issue, the main focus point about AEW, and that's the title picture. Now we got the Butcher and the Blade defeated Phoenix and Pac. But the story of the match wasn't that. The story of the match was the ending. They were beating up Pentagon, Phoenix, and Pac. But all of a sudden, Lance Archer comes out, and he has the problems with Kingston, right? Here's my issue. I like Lance Archer, but I want to see Pac and Kingston go one-on-one 1 week. They need to finish this off. And I think what they should have done, a lot of people are going to hate me, but they should have Pac versus Eddie Kingston this Wednesday and have Kingston go over. Or Pac win, but he gets a beat down. And that's when Archer returns this Wednesday on AEW Winter's Coming to confront Kingston. Because I believe Kingston versus Pac should have happened. A singles match should have happened before getting Lance Archer involved. That's what I believe. So you can agree or disagree with me on that, but that's what I thought they should have done. Now let's get to the main event. Not the main. Well, I don't know if it's going to be the main event. It probably will be the main event of AEW's Winter Coming, which I'll do a prediction show, as I said before. So the main thing that's going on with AEW is the title picture between Kenny Omega and Jon Moxley will face each other. AEW Winter's Coming this Wednesday on TNT, or if you're in Canada, TSN2, and I'm not sure wherever else in the world, but I know you guys can know wherever you are. I know you can find it. So as you know, 2 weeks ago, somebody attacked Moxley. Kingston was getting interviewed backstage. Moxley confronts Kingston. Kingston says he didn't do it. He would do it from the front, blah. And Moxley just walks away. And you could tell Moxley definitely believes Omega did it. He believes Kingston is telling the truth. You could tell. But he assumes Omega set him up. Because we do the contract signing again, and Omega, during his entrance, right behind him was Moxley attack Omega. He go down to the ring, gives him paradigm shift onto the belt. Moxley laid down the belt, and they gave him a paradigm shift, like boom, his head onto the belt. And he took the mic and says, I know you hired somebody to hit on me. So he thinks Kenny Omega hired someone to take him out before the title match. Here's what I think. I don't think it's true. I don't think Kenny Omega did hire someone. But if he did, and a lot of people think there's going to be a title change this Wednesday. And it's possibly it might be a change. I don't think it's going to happen. But I think it's close to like 60-40. But for some people, it might be 50-50. I don't know. I don't think it's going to be title change. I'll get my predictions later, as I said thousands of times. We'll see Wednesday what the outcome of this match is, and we'll see who took out Moxley. If he was a hired hitman that took out Moxley, or somebody new. Some people speculate Kenta, because Kenta in New Japan is the number one contender, has the briefcase to face for the Japanese, the New Japan US title, whatever I forget what it's called. Moxley's the champion, has a defendant, and Kenta's number one contender. Maybe it's Kenta. Maybe. I don't think it is, but it's possible. I don't know what kind of deal Kenta has with New Japan. Is he allowed to work with other companies? I don't know. And then we go to that's AEW in a nutshell. For last week, I'll get to AEW's predictions a little bit later in the show. After the weekly review. Now, let's go to SmackDown. SmackDown. Jey Uso opens up the show. He's so excited helping Woman Reigns win at Survivor Series. He thinks he's in good graces of his cousin. Woman Reigns comes out, not happy, obviously. He says, "You got off of my match. You lost for your team," reminding him over and over. Okay. Okay, sorry, phone's ringing. Sorry about that. Then we got a tag team match between the Street Profits and Robert Roode, Dolph Ziggler, right? So you would think after this, Roode and Ziggler would be the number one contenders for tag team SmackDown tag team titles based on the win. And that's how it usually goes. If you get the win, and I think it's gonna have it. And I don't know when it's gonna happen, but I think Roode and Ziggler are gonna get this title shot, but lose because I think it's Street Profits are gonna lose to Usos when Jimmy comes back. Then we got what else was there? There's no Lars Sullivan on the show. Let's go to the women's. Bianca Belair took on Natalya. Bayley at ringside. By commentary joining Cole and Graves. What's funny, for months, Bayley feels that Cole has been berating him, accusing her of stuff. And Bayley's like, I bet you want to go one-on-one with me, right? One-on-one with me, Cole. So this is a good match. Bayley got knocked out by getting thrown in. Bayley goes on the apron. It looks like it was going to distract Bianca, but Bianca moves it away. Natalya gets in front of the ropes, knocks off Bayley off the ropes. Bianca gets for the traditional schoolboy pin, the roll up. 1, 2, 3. And it looks like Bianca and Bayley are starting something, and this is good. I know Sasha Banks is the champion, but Bayley's been a champion for over a year, and having Bianca go up against Bayley is a good step. So this means they're very high on Bianca, and what the future has is for her. And from Talking Smack on Saturday, Paul Heyman very high on Bianca. Go watch Talking Smack. Paul Heyman and Killer Braxton. You have such a good camera sheet to get. I'm sorry. Then let's see what else happened on SmackDown. Oh, let's talk about the Intercontinental title match. Sami Zayn versus Daniel Bryan. This match was awesome. Sami Zayn says Daniel Bryan's the best worker he's ever faced. So what happened was to finish this match. Y'all could go watch and see it. Zayn goes backstage. Daniel Bryan goes backstage. Zayn returns. The 10 count happens, but Daniel Bryan doesn't return. You see Jey Uso beating down Daniel Bryan. You see Kevin Owens. Kevin Owens comes to Jey Uso, and then Kevin Owens says, enough of this shit. Enough of this stuff with Woman Reigns and Jey Uso. And we'll get to that later. And you see Sami Zayn again backstage. Big E was talking with. Big E was there. And Sami Zayn confronts Big E. Big E is Sami Zayn. You haven't been in contract in what, 5 or 6 years? Big E went to grab his hand. Remember that? He held it for 10 seconds. Hard. He got to the 5 count because his gimmick in NXT was 5 count. This is great. So it looks like Big E and Sami Zayn are going to have starting something together. And I think Big E will be the one to defeat Sami Zayn and become Intercontinental Champion. Maybe at TLC. In a ladder match or something. Then we have Carmella in the chair with Ryan. She's into wine. Talking about how She listened to people. Now she doesn't listen to people that changed her and everything. Now she after Sasha Banks, and she sees Sasha Banks, and Carmella's like this, right? A second time, and you see an arm with the boss on it, and it's obviously Sasha Banks. She attacks Carmella. So this time Sasha Banks has the one up on Carmella ever since, because Carmella for the past 3 weeks has got the upper edge on Sasha Banks 3 weeks in a row. But this time Sasha Banks got the one up on Carmella. And it's pretty obvious they're going to face each other at TLC. And Carmella ain't winning the SmackDown Women's title. Now let's get to the main event. It's Jey Uso over Kevin Owens. Good to the main event. The story here was Kevin Owens is pissed off at Roman Reigns. He took it out on Jey Uso. And what I love about Kevin Owens is took the announce table, he took the chair, sat like how Roman Reigns did at the contract signing Drew, sat here instead of here across from Drew McIntyre. Kevin Owens did the exact same thing at the announce table. Really beat up Jey Uso, yelling, saying, "You're basically calling Roman Reigns a coward. Like, get your balls out here, man. Come out here. He's basically calling out Roman Reigns. Obviously, that Kevin Owens is the next in line for a title. Kevin Owens is not going to win the title. But I think this is going. Like, Kevin Owens, like, I don't fear you, Roman Reigns. That's what Kevin Owens is. And on Talking Smack, Paul Heyman was kind of sucking up to Kevin Owens. And like Paul Heyman's like, you got you do good stuff. You got to earn respect of Roman Reigns. Kevin Owens is, you have Jey Uso do the dirty work for him. He took his frustration on Jey Uso in the main event, the main segment. This is all basically calling out Roman Reigns. And what was great was Roman Reigns and Paul Heyman looking in the monitor backstage, and Kevin Owens' face all pissed off, looking right into the camera, right into the monitor. That was great. And I'm looking forward to that. Where that's heading. Obviously TLC, which as the rumor said. So let's get to AEW Winter's Coming predictions. So let's get to the matches. We're going to have a battle royal for the Diamond Ring. MJF won last year. This year, contestants are Miro, Kip Sabian, Matt Hardy, Sammy Guevara, MJF, Street Private Party, I think Joey Janela, Wardlow, Sammy Guevara's in. I said that right? Hardy. Okay. There's others in there. And I think I'm going with Sammy Guevara to win this match. So the two members of Inner Circle could have the ring, Sammy Guevara and MJF. And I'm going with there. Now let's go with Britt Baker for Layla Hirsch. Yeah, Layla Hirsch is facing Britt Baker. Britt Baker. There's no question about it. Britt Baker's going to win here. Maybe Thunder Rosa will come and get involved. Maybe it'll be an upset win. Maybe Thunder Rosa will cost Britt Baker to win. Because I think, because remember 2 weeks ago, Britt Baker got involved with Thunder Rosa's match with, I forget who it was. Serena Deeb for the NWA Women's title. Okay. And Thunder Rosa attacked Britt Baker when she went back to the crowd. I don't know why she went to the crowd. That's stupid logic. But okay. Now we're going to get to other matches. Chris Jericho versus Kazarian. Chris, the Inner Circle was getting a little bit involved with SCU last week. Chris Jericho and Jack Hager defeated SCU. And now we're going to have a singles match. I think Chris Jericho is going to get the win here. But it's going to be solid. Solid match. Now let's get to this match. It's going to be Darby Allin team of Cody Rhodes versus the powerhouse Will Hobbs and Ricky Starks. Managed by Taz and Brian Cage is set. So Team Taz. Now, Darby Allin's the tag team champions. Not tag team champions. TNT champion. AEW TNT champion. Remember, he defeated Cody Rhodes at Full Gear, November 7th. I think this match is going to go to Will Hobbs and Ricky Starks. I think Team Taz is going to win this match. I don't know why. I think it makes sense for Team Taz to win this match. Even though they did defeat Darby Allin and Cody Rhodes a couple weeks ago. Right? This is before Will Hobbs turned heel. I mean, it might have been the same time, but after that match, Will Hobbs turned heel. But this time, Will Hobbs is going to the match as a heel. This is great to build up Will Hobbs because him and Brian Cage, two powerhouses, and Ricky Starks. I don't know. I just feel like I just like to call him Hollywood Ricky Starks. I think with sunglasses, look a Hollywood guy star. Yeah, so I'm going with Ricky Starks and Will Hobbs to defeat Cody Rhodes and Darby Allin. In the main event, John Moxley versus Kenny Omega. John Moxley defending the AEW Championship against John Moxley. No, John Moxley defending the AEW Championship against Kenny Omega, the number one contender. Now, John Moxley thinks Kenny Omega hired someone to take him out, or he took him out, evident by him giving the paradigm shift to Omega on the title at the contract signing last week, by attacking Omega during his entrance. So I think this is going to be a straight-up wrestling match. It's not going to be in John Moxley's wheelhouse where no holds barred where they use weapons. It's going to be a straight-up wrestling match, which Moxley could do. We've seen in WWE give a straight-up wrestling match. He's a brawler, but he's not all weapons. He's not all environment. Like, he can have a straight-up wrestling match. And some people are saying Kenny Omega will win here. I think it's certainly possible. I don't think it's clear cut that conclusion that Moxley is going to retain here. I think Moxley is going to retain, but it's a chance Omega could win here. A higher chance than previous title matches where Moxley defended Brody Lee. No chance Brody Lee would win there. Kingston, no chance. Was it Kingston again? Who did he face at the pay-per-view? Oh, MJF, no chance with MJF. Of course, MJF wasn't going to win. And Kingston Full Gear, he wasn't going to. There's no way Kingston was going to win. No way MJF was going to win. But here with Omega, there's a better chance of Omega winning the title than those three past pay-per-view opponents for Moxley, Brody Lee, MJF, and Kingston. There's a better chance of Omega winning here. So there's a higher possibility, a higher chance of Omega winning here. I'm still picking Moxley, but I won't be surprised if Omega wins the title. It says, yeah, I did hire someone to take you out. I don't know if after match or they'll continue on for some time. He maybe admits it that he hired someone to take him out. Or he'd be like, yeah, I'm the one that took you out. I don't know. Or maybe somebody new, or maybe it is Kenta. But I don't think it is. Now, let's get into the wrestling news, and then we get into the Raw preview for tonight. There's some stuff for Raw you gotta know going into. So we got wrestling news. So Braun Strowman, like, the rumor was that he's gonna face Drew McIntyre at TLC for the title, right? But what happened last week, based on getting suspended, that's gonna take him off TV for some time because he's been dealing with an injury. A knee injury. I don't know how long it's going to be out. It could be a couple weeks. It could be a month. There's no specific timetable. Maybe we'll get more detail. I'll let you guys know. I'm a Fightful Select member, so I get information early from Fightful on Fightful Select. Go check them out. It says join Fightful Select. Guys do good work there. Sean Wasap does good work. Jeremy Lambert, Max Balowski, everybody at Fightful does good work. So go check them out. So Braun Strowman was originally rumored to be the number one contender for Drew McIntyre's title at TLC, but since he's injured and the suspension was to get rid of him off TV for the time being, it looks like Drew McIntyre or Drew McIntyre. Remember that? That was a hell of a blooper about Adam Pearce. Drew McIntyre. He's gonna have a title match. He's gonna have a new title number one contender, depending on tonight. And I think it's gonna be AJ Styles. So I'll get to that match later. So he's gonna have a new challenger, Drew McIntyre, instead of Braun Strowman. It wouldn't be a bad idea to have Braun Strowman versus Drew McIntyre, at least a couple pay-per-views. It's a big man, Drew McIntyre could take down big man, and that could be a solid, kind of brawling type match between the two. They're both brawlers, hard hitting match, but sadly, that's not the case. So I'll get to that. I'll get to the preview later. So let's talk about other things. So Toni Storm turning heel. I made a video about this. It was the right move. I'm going to go short. It was the right move to turn her heel because NXT was lacking a serious top-notch heel on the female side. I mean, Candice LeRae has done a great job. She's a top heel, but she hasn't won anything big. She's never been Io Shirai. She's never been a champion. She hasn't really won a big one. She takes crazy bumps. I'll give her that, and I respect her for that. But Toni Storm, the difference between Toni Storm in a Candice LeRae, Toni Storm has defeated Io Shirai to become Mae Young Classic winner in 2018, 2 years ago. Remember now? And she has defeated Rhea Ripley in NXT UK to become NXT UK champion. Yeah, Rhea Ripley did defeat Toni Storm to become the first UK champion, NXT UK champion ever. But Toni Storm defeated Rhea Ripley on the first takeover in the UK. I think it was Blackpool. I think it was in 2019. So that's why they had to turn heel. In Indy, you would think Indy Hartwell would be the fourth competitor, but clearly Indy Hartwell is not ready. She'll probably try to get involved in the match. No question about it. She'll try to get involved in the match at War Games, the Women's War Games. And you could build up a heel Toni Storm here because she could be the next one in line for the NXT Women's title with Io Shirai. She could be like basically say, "I've beaten Rhea Ripley. I've beaten Io Shirai. I should be in line for the next NXT title, Women's title shot. I should be next in line." And she could play that off. Something Candice LeRae cannot play off because she's never beaten them. But who doesn't want to see Io Shirai and Toni Storm one more time? And there's a good chance Toni Storm could take the title from Io Shirai. And they can build up something, not just one match at a takeover, maybe a second match at a takeover, maybe, I don't know when they actually take over, maybe February, March, and then the next takeover, maybe May or June. I don't know what the schedule is for 2021 because we don't know what's going to happen in 2021, right? Well, you could build up something like Toni Storm, a heel Toni Storm and a face Io Shirai after War Games. Because I don't see Dakota Kai as a champion. I'm sorry. I know there's a lot of Dakota Kai fans. And Raquel Gonzalez, she's getting better, but she's not there yet. And Raquel Gonzalez might be one of those. I think she might be more successful in the main roster, to be honest with you. A powerhouse. Like Nia Jax. Look, Nia Jax is like a which hurts people. I have more faith in Raquel Gonzalez in the main roster as a powerhouse than Nia Jax because she looks like she's more smooth in the ring than Nia Jax. I don't know if you agree or disagree. I know a lot of people. Yeah, I think you're gonna mostly agree with me on Nia Jax. And Candice LeRae, despite her being one of the top women's heel right now, she doesn't win the big matches. And Toni Storm in the past has won the big matches, title matches, tournament final matches. And there's a lot of Toni Storm fans. And that's why I think Toni Storm turning heel was the right move, because NXT needed a strong heel woman that's actually been successful in their big moment, big time matches. And that's what Toni Storm has done. Whether it's the Mae Young Classic or NXT UK. And Survivor Series 2019, I guess. I don't know. See, that's a different story. And the Lana thing, go with Lana. I know a lot of people don't like Lana, how they're booking her, but they're booking her the right way. They're not using her to their disadvantage. They're not making her look like trying to make her wrestle much. They're using it to her advantages. And having her below in Survivor Series was a turn for her. Her luck is turning in her favor, and it's evidenced by Raw by not going through the table and by Asuka winning the tag team match with them. It looks like Lana's fortune is turning on her by having a good luck instead of bad luck by going through the table. And I think at TLC, her and Asuka are going to team up to face Shayna Baszler and Nia Jax. And I wouldn't be surprised if they won somehow the tag team titles from them. And to be fair to Asuka, they have done a terrible job with Asuka since SummerSlam. Built up no worthy competitor for Asuka in 3-4 months. I don't know who on the Raw roster could take. I know who could be the ones that could take the title from Asuka, and that's obviously Shayna Baszler, who can. But they haven't built up Shayna Baszler in that way really since WrestleMania, to be honest with you. There's nobody on the Raw roster I think could take the title from Asuka. It's sad because Asuka's a great competitor and she can make anybody look good in the match. But they need somebody strong who you think they could take the title away from Asuka. And I'm afraid when Charlotte Flair comes back, it's going to be Charlotte Flair. Because I don't see Becky Lynch coming back, even when she has a child. Seth Rollins, taking time off of SmackDown wasn't there. He's taking whatever, a month or two off. And Becky Lynch has a child due this month, coming up month in December. Even when she's a child, she won't be coming back for some time. It'll take some time after the child is born. Her child is born. So I see. I'm thinking it's gonna be Charlotte coming back. And I think it's gonna be Charlotte and Asuka again, once again, at WrestleMania. WrestleMania 37, wherever it's gonna be placed, Tampa Bay. Oh, excuse me, I gotta stretch. Yeah. Excuse me, Tampa Bay, man. You haven't done a great job. It's WWE. They don't really do a great job of building up stars lately. They're just starting with Bianca Belair on SmackDown. They gotta invest more. They gotta rely on more talent. They gotta have faith. And so this past Sunday, yesterday, I watched a Liv Morgan documentary. You know, Liv Morgan from Myers Scott, talking about how she got into wrestling and her journey through WWE so far. So Liv Morgan was a huge wrestling fan when she was young. Watched with her brothers. Her mother set up some sort of ring backstage where they could wrestle. Liv Morgan said she dropped out of high school in grade 10. She got her GED. She worked at Hooters and how Hooters helped her and stuff. And then she started training, not wrestling training, but getting into shape, working out a bit. And then she had a tryout with WWE 2014. She was like only 19 at the time. She might have been the youngest or at the time. Or maybe, I don't know if Aaliyah was there in 2014, but I know Aaliyah was around later on. She got a trial with WWE. She waited for a couple months. She supposedly got a phone call, but she didn't answer. It was someone in WWE. She got an email telling her that they're interested in signing her. So she signed a development contract with NXT. And she made friends with Aaliyah as her first friend. Her real name is Gianna Daddio. Yeah. It's just real name. So she had a couple matches at NXT. She tried all these different styles, NXT. And then in 2017, she got caught up in November, the day after Survivor Series. Her, Sarah Logan, Ruby Riott, Mandy Rose, and Sonya Deville were all Raw. They didn't know what it was. The plan was Triple H comes in and tells that Mandy Rose and Sonya Deville are going to be in a faction with Paige on Raw. So they go to SmackDown, Sarah Logan, Ruby Riott, and Liv Morgan. And Triple H tells them on SmackDown that those three are going to be in a faction on SmackDown. So they wrestle SmackDown as Spider Squad. And then, as there was a team together, the bond on the road grew. They were traveling together, being friends together, traveling together. They become like sisters, right? And then they got moved to Raw in 2018, and then 2019 hit. And then there's a draft. And Liv Morgan got drafted to the Raw, and the Wire Squad was broken up. Liv Morgan got drafted to SmackDown. Sarah Logan was on Raw, and Ruby Riott had to go. This is 2019. Ruby and Liv Morgan was. Now Ruby Riott had to get surgeries on her shoulders, so she's gonna be all well when she comes back in February 2020. So Liv Morgan was on SmackDown, and she was off couple of weeks until July. Remember Shane McMahon had all the wrestlers on stage. The aired grievances. So Charlotte Flair was talking, and Liv Morgan was talking, giving shit to Charlotte Flair. And Liv Morgan and Charlotte Flair had a match. Liv Morgan lost. She goes to the commentary table, takes the microphone, and she says she needs a change. She's not happy. And then she was off TV again for weeks and weeks. Now she gets drafted to the Wall, right? She gets drafted to the Wall again. Now they want to change her gimmick up. So she gets rid of the pink hair, the blue tongue, the Wire Squad kind of gear. And they wanted to make her like this dark, depressing kind of woman. So she was off Raw, and apparently she was going to have a match with Ember Moon on Raw. And just literally 30 seconds before the show, before the match, that match is canceled. And you can see Michael P.S. Hayes is like, stop, this match is canceled. And Liv Morgan was like, this is a joke, right? And Michael P.S. is like, no, it's not a joke. It's just serious. And the reason why is they didn't want the crowd to see her and like ongoing in transformation. They want to see her in a full transformation. And so as months went by since that moment that her match with Ember Moon got canceled on Raw, the Lana and Bobby Lashley storyline is picking up, and on December 30th, 2019, the wedding took place. And you see Liv Morgan, now it's her debut on Raw. They told her it's a debut on Raw. That's just going to interrupt the wedding. She's wearing that black outfit. She was backstage pacing out. She was nervous. And then she heard the word, I object. And that's when Liv Morgan comes back and ruins the wedding between the two. And you see her get involved with in that moment, the cake's all over Lana, over Liv Morgan. After the match, she come back from the gorilla position backstage, cake all over her. She wanted to shake Paul Heyman. Paul Heyman was instrumental in that transformation, trying to help her out with that new gimmick that Morgan was going to go out with. You could clearly tell it was a Heyman type. Heyman influence on the change for Liv Morgan. And as you know, as months go on, after the Lana thing, she defeated Lana twice, right? Ruby Riott returns from her injuries. And Ruby Riott comes back from injury as a heel, attacks Liv Morgan, right? And then months later, they forgive each other, they become a team again. The Wire Squad was reborn. I know it's not the same without Sarah Logan. Sarah Logan's pregnant. She was released, right? I have a feeling Sarah Logan will get rehired again in the future. I just believe it's. I just think it's gonna happen. I think Sarah Logan's W is gonna rehire Sarah Logan, and I hope you agree with me on that. And now Liv Morgan and Ruby Riott tag team on SmackDown. They're involved in a Survivor Series match. Let's see where we go from there. Maybe one day they'll become tag team champions. Certainly, Shayna Baszler and Nia Jackson not winning, doing anything with the tag team titles. Really haven't built up anything with it. I don't know. So that's the story of Liv Morgan's, how she got into wrestling and how she not just got into wrestling, but the ups and downs of wrestling, being in WWE NXT, affected her. Go check it on WWE Network if you have it. It's very good, inspiring. And another news that just came today, I think it's curious. So I read that Rhea Ripley lost her confidence after a Charlotte match at WrestleMania. Now, you wouldn't think that you wouldn't think that was somebody that strong, that well built, well they build her and stuff. She looks tough, legit tough woman. Has confidence. It's not the case. Anybody could lose confidence, no matter how tough you are, right? So remember, last year they were building up strong. She's faced Shayna Baszler and stuff. She defeated Shayna Baszler to become women's champion, and then after that, they kind of really derailed her a bit. In that match with Charlotte, here's my personal opinion: if there was a crowd, I think Rhea Ripley would have retained. But since there's no crowd, Charlotte won. I just think that's gonna happen. I think that's what's gonna happen. And after that match, Rhea Ripley lost her confidence. And you could tell in NXT, they weren't using her that much. You could tell she's... And then, as time went on, you could see the confidence building back into her, bringing her faith back into her. People helping her out. Her confidence is coming back. She had a tremendous cage match with Mercedes Martinez. Great match with Raquel Gonzalez and Halloween Havoc. Good match with Io Shirai 2 weeks ago, or a week and a half ago, depending on the timeline. 2 weeks on Wednesday, of course. And it's hard to believe that she lost her confidence, right? But she's a strong woman, and she's on Chasing Glory with Lillian Garcia. Go check it out if you can, and check out the last week's Chasing Glory with Lillian Garcia, Shotzi Blackheart, talking about her life, her childhood, very heartfelt childhood. She had a tough childhood. And she describes how she got into wrestling and stuff, and how she struggled getting into wrestling, and how she had a heart condition, and before that, her childhood dealing with sexual abuse. And Sasha Blackheart. Go check it out last week. It's on the WWE Network. Go check it out. So that's all the wrestling news I have for you guys. So I'm going to plug my stuff once again. Next week, I'll get the wrestling news and the wrestling weekly update for Raw, SmackDown, AEW Winter is coming in NXT. And I'll do an AEW prediction, not AEW, an NXT Wargames prediction show later on this week. Thursday, I could do a NXT Wargames review too on Sunday after the show. Thursday is all about pop, talking pop culture, and Saturday is all about why we love sports, talking about sports in the week. All these shows are at 3 p.m. Eastern time, so 12 p.m. Pacific, and wherever your time zones are, I know you guys know. So like, comment, subscribe down below. And I hope you enjoy Raw tonight. There's a sympathy match, ballad sympathy match or something with music instruments around the ring. Jeff Hardy versus Elias. There's a moment of bliss with Alexa Bliss and Randy Orton. So we'll check that out tonight. And with that, one more time, like, comment, subscribe. And with that, this is Double A with RON Entertainment signing out. Have fun.